Hey, my name is Rabit, and I am taking the real estate salesperson program by Humber online. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I like to go over everything I've read so far and just summarize everything for myself. Uh, Maybe in doing that, I can help myself and help you learn more and memorize this thing or get to know this module better. So, Module 1, Lesson 1 really talks about Reba. So, real estate trading is regulated under the Real Estate and Business Brokers Act. Associated regulations collectively referred to as Reba. So, basically, Reba provides framework for the responsive regulation of the real estate profession to protect consumers and ensures that integrity of real estate transaction is upheld. So basically, Reba takes care of the standards and everything. It takes care of the consumers. So there are some regulations set out by Reba. Uh, so basically, it's the minimum standard or the minimum requirements set to help ensure there are no misunderstandings and there is no ambiguity existing in the minds of the seller or the buyer. So basically, it just tells you to treat everybody with fairness and honesty, make conscious and competent service decisions, and if you don't know anything, you per- if you don't know about certain things, you tell the buyer or the seller to seek professional assistance, who is a professional in that particular thing that you don't know about. Okay, so for example, if you don't know anything about wells or the septic or electricity, or for example, you don't know anything about the electric wires and stuff, you tell the seller or the buyer to seek professional help from professionals who do know about that. Okay, so that's basically the code of ethics. um, so RICO, we're going to talk about RICO because RICO is the one who administers Reba on behalf of the provincial government. So, RICO's role and responsibilities are mandated to ensure that the regulation of trading in real estate builds and sustains public trust in real estate marketplace. Okay, so RICO registers brokerages and individual brokers and salespersons to trade in real estate and ensures that registrant activities adheres to consistent standards across real estate trades throughout Ontario. Okay, so basically, these standards help build and sustain public trust. Okay, and let's go again. The roles of RICO to enforce REBA basically are enforcing the standards to obtain and maintain registration, establishing education standards for registration and post registration, establishing and administering insurance requirements. Okay, conducting inspections, addressing inquiries, concerns and complaints. Okay, being the source of consumer protection. Okay, that's their main role. That's the role of RICO. And we're gonna go again. What is the role of a registrant? Okay, so all brokerages, brokers, salesperson registered under Reba are referred to as registrant. Okay, that is a broker, a brokerage, and a salesperson. So okay, and Reba also requires the brokerage to designate a broker within the brokerage as the broker of record. So the broker of record is actually a very important person. We'll talk about him later. So basically, a brokerage is a corporation, partnership, or sole proprietorship. So basically, they trade real estate on behalf of. They trade in real estate on behalf of others for compensation or reward. So basically, they trade to get money. Exactly. So basically, the next person is the broker. A broker is an individual who is qualified to be registered as a broker under Reba. Okay, so he has the good qualifications to be registered as a broker. A salesperson is, it's just a salesperson is basically employed by the brokerage to trade in real estate. Okay, to be a salesperson, you have to be able to complete the real estate program, which I'm doing right now. Hopefully, I do that. You have 2 years, okay, to complete the registration. Additional education requirements are main after you finish the first education program, and then they'll guide you more on what you need to do after you finish your real estate program. Like I said before, the broker of record is one of the main persons in a brokerage. So all brokerages are required to have a broker of record. So this individual is designated by the brokerage to ensure compliance with Reba. So in case of the brokerage is a corporation or a partnership, a broker of record can be any broker employed by the brokerage. So for a sole proprietorship, sorry, I sometimes I mispronounce, so just please be sorry about that. Sole proprietorship. In a sole proprietor, okay, you already know what it is. The broker of record is responsible for all activities in a brokerage, including brokers, salesperson, and all employees of the brokerage. So he is the manager. He's basically the main man who controls everything. Not controls everything, but takes care of everything. We're going to talk about the roles of a broker of record. Okay, so the roles of a broker of record is to ensure compliant practices and high standards are firmly entrenched and continuously enforced. So Reba requires a broker of record to be actively involved in day-to-day operations of the brokerage. Okay, so he should be able to help anybody who needs assistance, answer any questions that salesperson might have, or anybody's questions. Okay, he should be the guy to go to, or the girl to go to, doesn't matter. Under the Reba, the broker of record always has the ultimate responsibility for the brokerage of operations. At all times, you should have the guidance and advice will be provided to you at any stage of the transaction. Regardless of the brokerage structure, all brokers and salesperson are provided active supervision, no matter what the depth of the experience of the individual has. Okay, so the broker of record is the main person who supervises these people. Okay, let's go to lesson 2 because lesson 1 was pretty easy. Lesson 2 basically talks about the education requirements. Okay, you do need to know there are 3 steps. You have to complete the education requirements, and then to become a salesperson, there are 3 steps. You need to complete the education requirements, you need to register with RICO and be employed by a brokerage, and then you need to obtain insurance. Okay, so you need to purchase insurance through RICO insurance program. Basically that, and then we'll go to the next, and basically it tells you the same thing. There are 5 courses, real estate essential, and you will get that. It's pretty easy. And that was lesson 1. Lesson 2 was pretty easy actually. Lesson 3 is skills used by a salesperson. So that is also pretty easy. I mean, it's obvious that you need to have good communication skills. You need to be able to use a computer. You need to be able to do research. You need to have confidence and persistence. You need to have some math skills. You need to have some problem solving skills, self-discipline, organizing and planning. So basically these are the skills that a salesperson uses. Okay, and to be successful, you need to be technology proficient. You need to have I already said computer knowledge, right? So yeah, so basically it's pretty easy. Lesson 3 was just that. And let's go to lesson 4. Lesson 4 is basically the roles and activities of a salesperson. Okay, let's read this. Trading in residential or commercial real estate impacts a salesperson's schedule in a number of different ways. Okay, so you will need to take this account when planning your schedule. Sellers or buyers may not be concerned about your time, so basically you have to be on top of your game when they contact you. You'll be working irregular hours. There'll be disruptions for your family. Many times there are some events that you might not be able to go to. Your work schedule will dictate by commercial sellers. Oh, sorry, commercial commercial selling is pretty easy because they work from 8 to 6. Okay, but residential is basically irregular hours. You can get called in anytime you want, anytime that seller or the buyer wants. Um, so the activities of a salesperson in a residential resale is representing the seller. So uh, listing agreement is with the brokerage. The salesperson working directly with the sales seller will perform the duties agreed to it in the agreement. The salesperson is known as the listing salesperson. Okay. If you are marketing a property, the salesperson will want to know. Sorry. If you are marketing a property, a seller will want to know what will be done to advertise and market the property. Okay, so you will have to make a marketing plan. Typically, all advertising is done at the expense of the salesperson, and is the cost borne whether the property sells or not. So basically, you are responsible for the cost of the marketing. Okay, it doesn't matter if the house sells or not. You are responsible of the cost. You cannot go to the seller and be like, "Oh, I just spent $100 on the flyers. Where's my $100?" No, you cannot do that. That's your $100 that you spent. Uh, Prospecting. So what is prospecting? Prospecting involves searching for qualified buyers for the listed property. Okay, so the property, in terms of type, you have to list. Sorry, prospecting involves searching for qualified buyers for the listed property and includes more than placing a sign on the property and showcasing the listing on a website. So basically, you have to go introduce yourself to the neighbors, often families or friends who live nearby, distributing flyers, ensuring other salesperson within the brokerage and other brokerages are aware of the listing, as they might be working with buyers who are searching. So basically, you are looking for buyers um, to sell the property. Uh, so one of the other activities that a salesperson is responsible for is preparing the property to be shown. So showing a property to a buyer could immediately occur immediately after it has been listed. So basically, you can list a property, and the next day somebody would want to come see it. Okay, so you have to be ready. Repairs and maintenance, you have to be getting it done before you let somebody view the property. Ensure you are familiar with the home, so you have to go out there and get to know the house, get to know what you are selling. So you can be like, oh yeah, if the buyer asks you something, you know what to do, you know what to say. This is pretty easy. Lesson 4 is pretty easy, and lesson 5 is basically commission and budgeting. This is actually pretty important. So as a salesperson, you will most likely be compensated based on commission earned for a transaction. A commission is amount of money the brokerage receives as payment for the services provided in a transaction. Okay, so commission is paid once a transaction is has been completed, not when the offer is accepted. So you will be paid when everything is said and done, not when the offer is accepted. So you will need to know how the brokerage will pay you. So sometimes they charge different, they have different types of commissions, so you have to learn about that. The commission sharing can be based on a number of factors. Transitioning into a career with no guaranteed income requires advanced planning. So basically, it doesn't matter. When you're a real estate salesperson, you have to have a backup plan, right? You have to budget your income. Factors of payments. So for residential transaction, it could take several weeks or months. For commercial transaction, it could take months or years before completing a transaction. Okay, So just keep that in mind. The types of market, there's a seller market, buyer's market, balanced market. Seller market is basically um, when there are a number of buyers who want to purchase the property, but there's less supply, so there's less houses on the market, but there are a lot of buyers. And a buyer's market has been, there's a lot of houses or properties, but there are not a lot of buyers, so buyers can like pick and choose what they want to get. And a balanced market is basically the number of properties and the number of buyers or sellers are same, it's balanced, like, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it, and that's lesson 5. It's pretty cool, and it just tells you about how the commission is shared and all that good stuff, which is pretty easy. You will learn that on your own. And yeah, that's pretty much module 1. I pretty much summarized everything that I needed to summarize. If you think I did good job, let me know, and I will keep doing this. I'm gonna do module 2 next, so let me know what you liked and what you didn't like. My English is all right. It's not the best. Sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing words. Maybe it's because I haven't read a book in a while. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was module 1, lesson 1 to 5, on becoming a real estate salesperson. So let me know. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.